Principal Vrindavan Vihari Lal ki jai. Everybody, let's all stand as we begin this morning with Arti. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam Yahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokyatimidapaham Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarti Papiyon ko paap se hai taarti
Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarti Papiyon ko paap se hai taarti
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही
ज्ञान यही वरदान यही
जग की मंगल की आरती
पापियों को पाप से तारती भागवत भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत शापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी
सुख करनी है दुख हरनी
ये मधुसूदन की आरती
पापियों को पाप
Everybody.
से तारती
जय जय भागवत भगवान की
आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती
ये मधुर बोल जग पंद कोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला
ये मधुर बोल जग पंथ कोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़े को बनाने वाला
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही
राम यही घनश्याम यही
प्रभु की महिमा के आरती
पापियों को पाप से तारती
जय जय भागवत भगवान की
आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि
गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा
Govinda Hare Murari.
Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari.
He Nath Narayana Vasudeva.
Hey Nath Narayana Vasudeva.
He Nath Narayana Vasudeva.
Hey Nath Narayana Bolo Hari Gopal. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Bol. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Bol.
Let's pray together, everybody. Om Gajananam
Bhutaganaadisevitam
Kapeta Jambu
Palacharabhakshritam
Umasutam Sho
Kavinashakarakam
Namami Viganeshwara
Parapankajam
Sarvamangalamangaliye
Shive Sarvarthasadhike
Sharanye
Trayambike Gauri
Narayani
Namostute
Gurur Brahma
Gurur Vishnu
Gurur Devo
Maheshwara
Gurur Sakshat
Param Brahma
Tasmai Shri
Guruve Namaha.
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Devotees, please have your seat. Cordial welcome to everybody viewing on the live and those of you that will watch it on the repeat. Last night in our discourse, if you missed it, we did a Katha where a king by the name of Raja Nirga got himself into trouble. And he's cursed to take the form of a lizard, a reptile. Not only a reptile, but he is cast into a deep hole. And he's trying to stay afloat in the well, in the water. So when Samba, son of Krsna, rescues him, and they see the size of the body, as Krsna appeared on the scene, the lizard died. And the soul that came out looked as if it was a Devta in terms of its description. So Samba, now being the inquisitive one, his mouth hot, he's not calm and tenured. This man will ask any question, inappropriate, loud, no control over the volume, etc. Vishal, turn some. He says, what sin did you do to inherit this form? I want to know so I wouldn't make the same mistake. Sitaram, please tell us. And he says, well, I lived a very good life. I did dan, I did this, I did that. I did prayer and I gave all the different types of dan, and at one point what the trouble was, I was doing Gaudan. And whilst doing Gaudan, one of the cow that I gave went and mixed with a cow or the few cow to give. So when I grab now, imagine the rope or the tail to give the cow, I ended up gifting two Brahman the same cow. And it had a little problem there. In the Katha, it talks about if we are talking through Bhagavad to find a solution to the problems that we have, God puts in your life these people called Brahman. And sometimes where we go wrong is where you use people like this, you use them, get your prayer done. We said it in a previous verse. The bee only loves the flower till he gets the nectar. After getting the nectar, forget the flower. The child loves the book so long as the exam is not passed. But when you pass the exam, throw away the book. Likewise, the pundit is good until the ceremony is completed or the dan is accepted. Because we want this person to take the dan and by and large, take the troubles that we have. The definition of a Brahman is a person who is knowledgeable of Brahman. And whether you follow the trend of thought genetically, a person is made Brahman by the family or the line he comes from, or the character. Each one has merit. But Brahman means the person who is knowledgeable of the Shakti or the energy, whichever way you understand it, the energy that makes this world, that everything. And the person is supposed to guide you now how to work around the karma that you have. I'm seeing sickness, I'm seeing trouble, I'm seeing difficulty. Please help me, guide me with a procedure, a prayer, a discourse in this case where you're listening, and by listening, you get the blessing of overcoming the trouble. But then, instead of respecting the person, you will come across people in Kali Yuga that will jealous the person, that will hate the person, that will envy the person, that will hurt the person, insult the person. And this is one of the tenets of Kali Yuga. That the same, in this case it's saying Brahman, but in the same way you would disrespect a guru. The person, when you hear guru, you immediately think Pandit. But what about your mother, your father, your teacher in school? Vendra Vande Harilala Ki Jai. Whilst they are wrapping up their prayer, let's give them a chance. Let's do a little chant before we go into our discourse this morning. I can't remember the tune first. Jai Guru Omkara, Jai Jai Sadguru Omkara, Om Jai Guru Omkara, Jai Jai Sadguru Omkara, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shivaya,
Brahma Vishnu Sada Shivaya,
Brahma Vishnu Sada Shivaya,
Brahma Vishnu Sada Shivaya,
Hara 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 Mahadeva,
Hara 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 Mahadeva,
Jai Shri Guru Omkara, Jai Jai Sadguru Omkara,
Jai Shiva Omkara, Jai Jai Sadguru Omkara,
Brahma Vishnu Sada Shivaya,
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 Hara 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 Mahadeva,
Hara 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 Mahadeva,
Jai Shiva Omkara, Jai Jai Shiva Omkara, Jai Jai Sadguru Omkara, Om
Jai Shiva Omkara, Jai Jai Sadguru Omkara,
Sadguru Omkara, Om
Sadguru Omkara,
Prem Svalo Mahapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Baba, nearly finished there. In this way, last night it stressed how this tenet of Kali Yuga, that you become so corrupted that if the guru be a parent, the school teacher, the spiritual guru, the person misuse and mishandle these people that are God sent in your life to aid and guide the person in different ways, holding them up, fighting the tamasic tendencies we all have to make you into a better person. But a growing trend in our society now is damn the parent, damn the school teacher, and damn the pundit. The same pundit that comes to perform the prayer so that you could get the blessing. When you get your blessing in a prayer, that isn't for anybody else's opportunity. If I do prayer, somebody asks you why you do prayer for your blessing, not a simple explanation. But then you corrupt your prayer by ill speaking, damning the same person that is coming to help you. So in one show RT the person and put your head by the foot and all these nice things for everybody to see. And then based on the traits of Kali Yuga, ill speak, damn, jealous, hate, etc. Christian who always protect people, who guard and safeguard the Gayatri, says, if you wish to overcome the karma, then these people that are selected based on their usage of Gayatri mantra, their knowledge, etc., then you worship them. Not only physical puja, but have respect for them. And don't contaminate your prayer by ill speaking, abusing the same people that are guiding you. Yes, that's the Baba, but it also extends to different forms of Vidya Guru as well. When we went on in that discourse, the soul from the lizard, he calls out to Krishna in the name Mukunda. Sometimes we hear that name Mukunda, but it was this form, the lizard form, that gave him the name, because as he saw him, as he had the darshan, the seam in his eyes, the life left the body. And he was able to regain his kingly form, human form with all the nice things on him. For this reason, till today, people sing that name, meaning the eternal, the true liberator. That when the person is singing that name and you hear somebody singing a bhajan or you hear it in mantra, remember you are the believer, you are the follower of Krishna. But the truth is, you don't know when you're saying the mantra what you're saying. When you're saying your prayers, why am I calling you Mukunda? Just like what we learned, and we only did a couple of names. We heard that Devaki is the one who learns that Garg Muni called him Keshava because of his hair texture being very curly. Govinda was given by Indra because he's the protector of cows. In this way, the names that we call him have a lot of meaning. And if the person should learn these things, when you're singing the bhajan, when you're saying your prayers and you learn the language of the Lord, the quality and the output of your prayer is going to be better and better. Vindravan Bihari Lalaki Jai. This morning we enter again into Skandha number 10, chapter 66. We'll touch a little bit on 65. Before we do so, put your hands together as we do Sumiran. Before we do it, this discourse has a lot to do with the envy. and the play. The play. This is a wonderful discourse. I wanted to read this for you. Another thing that happens in Kali Yuga. Dear God, help me not to make the errors that are being described in this section of Skandha number 10. I understand, dear God, dear Krishna, that sometimes the enemies could be outside on the battlefield of life, just as you are describing in the war in Mahabharata, for example. But in these chapters, the enemy comes from within. My character, my behavior, my reaction to scenarios and people. As I'm about to listen, practice Shravanam, as I'm about to listen to this discourse, bless me to learn and to improve. Riddhi Siddhi Datta Siddhi Sadana Varana Varana Sumiro Barambar Madana Kadana Kelalako Ganapati Kripanidan Jnana Khani Ananda Bhavana Dehu Mohi Vardhan Parano Bhasha Bhagavat Jai Shiva Ananda Kanda Bhutanatha Bhaudayarana Bhakti Vishaya Nirvan Gaudavadana Mangala Karana He Braja Chandra Mukunda Braja Bhushana Dushana Harana Katahu Bhava Bhaya Panda Charana Sharana Le Anakara Jai 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 Jagadisha Sevata Shesha Mahesha Mahima Mita Beva Mahima Mita Beva Veda Veda Janata Rahe Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. In this section, Balram has left Dwarka. He wanted to see his mother, Rohini. So he left Krishna and he tells him for a little time, for 2 months, I'm going to stay in Vrindavan. For that time, please, don't enter into any battle. I will not be here to protect you. I will not be here to save you. Do not do anything. Do not engage in any war. Do not start any fight. I will not be here. And he goes and he spends time with all the gopis and gopas, and they are asking him, so long now we haven't seen you. Now you all are married. Now you all have children. Krishna has grandchildren. How is life? Have you all forgotten us? We were starting to think you would never come back, that Krishna would never come back to see his mother Yashoda. Will he ever come back? Sukadeva Goswami says that this is the pain, or the journey that the devotee has to go through. One day we are together with him, and then we have to spend this time apart. And for some people, they're okay with it. For some people, they are grieving and waiting for the day they will see him again, for him to come back for them. Whilst Balram was giving hope to those people in Vrindavan that he's coming, he'll come one day. Sukadeva Goswami says that there was a messenger that came to meet with Krishna. He was adjudicating court matters in Sudharma, the great hall of Dwarka, the court. And this messenger is full of pride, false pride. He comes from the country called Kurusha. His king had sent him to relay a message to Krishna. Let's hear what happens as the messenger is allowed to come in the court. Imagine Krishna on the throne and all the ministers, everybody's around. Dear messenger, please say your message for everybody to hear. Let everybody hear. Let Ugrasen and all the other kings know what great message you've come to share with us. Knowing the trouble to come, Krishna allows him to speak publicly. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Tvam Vasudevo Bhagavanirna Jagatapate iti prokta bheto ye bhaline atmana nama dyutam ye pratiniyate. Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
Vasudevo avatyarne hameka eva na chaparha Bhutanam anukulya kamya karam tvam tu vimithyate.
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo
Namah. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. The attendant says, my Lord, my King, has sent a message for you, O King of Dwarka. He says, now understanding the messenger is saying what the king, will get his name just now. The king sent a message for Krishna. Krishna, in other words, Krishna, listen. Because of how it is written. One calling himself Vasudev, one is Vasudev, so it's a little confusing. So I have to use different name for children to understand. O Krishna, I, the other king, I am the true Vasudev. I am the true form of Vishnu. I, the other king, I am the true incarnation of Mahavishnu that has come upon the earth. My Leela is about to unfold, O Krishna. Hope everybody working with me there. I am the one, I am the storehouse of compassion. You are simply a copy, a fabrication, a fake of what I represent. For this reason, my message to you on behalf of my King, the true God, relinquish this false title that you have. Whatever Vaishnavite emblem, the Kustub gem, the Vanmala, the Shank, the discus, give up these things. Take it off your flag. Take it off your walls. Stop decorating Dwarka with this, or else face my wrath. Stop because of your stupidity. Renounce these things. And if you, Krishna, come under me, the other king, under my shelter and umbrella, I am so gracious. Even now I will accept you. Even now I will forgive your rant and your fakeness and all the different lies you have spoken. Why? Because remember, I, the other king, I am the true I am the true Vasudeva. I am the true Vishnu. Let me don't use that Vasudeva because that could confuse somebody as we go. I am the true Vishnu. Hearing this, Sukdev Goswami says, Parikshit, everybody, the first thing that fly out of Krishna's mouth, who is your king? Who are you speaking on behalf of? He says, I am speaking on behalf of Raja Paundraka. Paundraka is the name of my king. He is the person in charge of the district. And I have come to inform yourself, your elders, Ugrasene, and others of his problem of your advertising falsely to be the incarnation of Mahavishnu. Krishna and Ugrasene and all others that were gathered there in this Sudharma hall given to Dwarka by Indra started to laugh really loud. They laughed at that messenger. And Krishna says to him, "Oh, you foolish man, I will hurl my insignia," that same discus, that same mace, that all those things, I will hurl it at you. And your emblem, you represent the king. I'm talking to you as if he's the king. I will take my little flag and my emblem. You started to talk about the insignia. I'll take my flag and hit your flag, and I bet you your flag will fall. Oh, you false prophet. Oh, you braggart. Restrain your boasting and your falseness. Otherwise, you will incur the wrath of me, Vasudeva. Krishna side. He says, please understand what you are doing. You are causing problems. And by doing this false doctrine, by professing to be something you are nowhere close to, this is where people get into problems karmically. There's a reaction for doing this type of false, I use the word prophet, English word, it is not the word used here. False prophet or professing to be divine and you are just a man. Those things have repercussion. When you get it into your head that you are greater than this one and greater than that one, it brings damnation and pain, not only to yourself, but to your family. Sukdev Goswami says to Parikshit, do you remember when this happened with Hiranyakashipu? It happened in Bhagavad in a different Skandha earlier time when Narsingh Baba walked the earth. That Hiranyakashipu thought he was God. This is the Prahalad Katha for children. His problem was he thought he deserved worship. In this case now, this is not no great demon or any person who has attained great amount of prayer. The person is just, they wake up one morning and it is as if they just wanted to say they are the divine. Sukdev Goswami says, as time is passing, these tendencies wake up in people. And without doing the proper method to attain the divinity, the person wants to get the support of people as if they are divinely guided. You see this historically in our history, not only as Hindu or Indian. When you see people used to wage war in the name of God, for example, in the Crusades in Israel and so on, the idea was, I will use the crucifix to show that God is with me. I will use an emblem to shine that God is supporting my drive and my work, and in different ways that type of thinking. Hitler does it till today. If you put, how you call it, the swastika? If you use the swastika straight, you could get banned from Facebook and other social media. Because although it is a Hindu emblem, it has the connotation of hatred now because of the times and usage. If the person does genuine research and you see what it represents, it is the actual opposite for what it was used for. So when Hindu, pay attention to when you see it, you understand what I'm saying. When the Hindu has to use it now for their emblem and for their religious work, they have to put a twist on it. So it looks totally different to the German usage of that same symbol. The symbolism is the idea that the divine is with us. God is with us. We are God's people. And the person sometimes gets it in their head that I am the messenger of God, I am God. And they get into this God status, God mindset. I am impervious. I was sent here by His grace to do His work. And if you elect me, if you support me, if you fight with me, you will be doing God's bidding. In this time, you hear this in Bhagavad Sita. You will hear it in Bhagavad when he explains the purpose or the history behind other faith. As a Sanatanis, we embrace other faith. We do not condemn. We do not criticize. You belong to a faith where the dog could be God, where the human, yes, could be God, where there are different evolutionary steps explaining in the development. For example, Varna, different forms, half man, half God, half man, half animal, different hybrids exist, and all is God, all is divine. But there is a point where that extension of embracing other religion has a limitation, and that is where the person, yes, we come from God, but let's just say, to put it from a maths perspective, you must understand I am 1% and not 100%. Many people think there are people who get into this God complex and they act different. You see it in marriage, you see it in business, you see it in temple, I, and it causes a lot of trouble. It seems as if you get a little position, the person's mind, they go. But the argument is, I'm doing God's work. Vindra Van Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Krishna did not like this type of false prophet. He does not agree with it and he does not condone it. O Parikshit, in a quick while, listening to the constant message, the message came, and now you are threatening Krishna himself that I am going to invade Dwarka and I will slaughter all that are there. But if you change your ways, O Krishna, I Paundraka, or the real in his mind, the real Vasudeva, I will spare your people, but you must rest your head, Krishna, by my foot. At this time, this false prophet had left his city of Kurusha and was staying by his friend Kashi, in Kashi Raj, the king. Krishna takes his soldiers and he goes there, getting ready to destroy this false prophet. O Parikshit, in the coming age, Sitaram, in the coming age of Kali Yuga, there will be more and more false prophet. Why? Because as the karmic content of the people is dropping, they will believe anything. They will follow convenience rather than the strict rules of Dharma. Dharma will become watered down to fuel the masses with making the people happy rather than the God happy. Krishna does not accept this. True Lord Krishna does not accept this. That there must be a difference between divinity and our humanity. For this reason, let's use an example. Somebody has a guru, yes. Somebody has a parent that died, yes. And we all have a prayer room home. But according to Vastu Sastra, if somebody says, you are the Hindu, guide me now. Could I put Krishna, Ram, Daddy, Pitya on the shelf in the same level? No. There's a difference between the divinity and, let's just say, the dead. You're not supposed to put deceased people, Pitya, on the same level or the same place even of your God and people. Notice, I lost mommy. I love my mother. But I am not going to affect my prayer area with the pity of a deceased. Now, let me just, keeping that in mind, have you ever gone to the Gita Path section of a typical Bandara? Typical Shraddha is being done. And you will see Krishna's Murti, maybe the Khalsa, and the deceased person. You're the Hindu, is that correct? No. No. You're not supposed to do that. The purpose of that prayer is not to worship the dead. The purpose of that prayer is to worship Krishna on behalf of the dead. So what you're supposed to do if you want to have that pitye, let's just use Dattatreya Swami, Sachidananda Guru here. The person puts up a pitye for the darshan. Older folks have a better relationship with Sai Baba, just being there longer. I am putting Guruji where Guruji is smiling at me. I will get his grace, I will get his darshan. But there is a strict line between man and God. So when it comes to our typical relative, let me just say, I've seen people want to put their pet to do puja, to offer on the bedi. The hair from the animal could contaminate your prayer. It have a difference between right and wrong. For this reason, in this example of Vastu Sastra, there are things you put in your prayer area and things you don't. Man has a separate place. That man or that human or that animal that you love as a family member has a separate place. All is God. Everything is God. But there's a housing for a little bit of God, and then there's a housing for plenty. An example of that, a chicken have a piece of God in it, but we believe that the cow have plenty more divinity. Hence, it is allowed to roam freely in some parts of the world. Like in there, you could be in a concrete jungle and you will see a cow walk into a mall, in the middle of the mall, and let loose urine, and everybody would bow to Gaumata because they know what they believe in. However, if you look at the trend in the world today, it seems as if there is more godly things, but not all are truthful things. Consider that. Krishna says in verse Shlok 13 of chapter 66 that the person who worships him worships truth. If somebody asks what's the difference? The difference is the truthful content. The right thing. Simple language. The right thing. And it does not become the following of the man. And I said it before. If it is, you are latching on only to the pundit. Having spoken about pundit last night. If it is, you are only hooking on to the pundit or the man, then you are missing the God. And as a pundit, I will say it. Some pundits get confused. I am supposed to guide you to God. I am not the God. I could share my blessing based on my Havan, my Gayatri use. I explained Gayatri last night. I could give you that blessing based on my goodness, my prayer. Any parent could give their goodness. Any elder could share Abhya Mudra mean, the Diksha or the unseen energy from here. Shoot and lift that person aura. If by one step, help them up. Anybody could do that. A child could lift their hand in Kanyakumari Puja for Navratri. A child could bless you. You would see for different prayers, people worship the dog when they're doing Kumbha Viva, when somebody is Mangalik and they're doing different prayer. They will bow and worship animal. When you have Shrad, you bow to the bird. You're touching the water. You're doing different things when you're feeding fish, for example. Everything has God in it. Everything could share energy. But when it comes to becoming your guide and your guru, a guru is a guide, not God. And people have to understand that. Guru and Pandit included. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Let's hear what happens as Krishna now is outside Kashi and he's ready for this false prophet. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bole Baba Sharanam.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Shankar Ye Sikhya Dasharat Sharda Ye Shri Vatsalatam Palikshatam Vibrahan Pustum प्राणी प्राणी वनमाला जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब
जय
शरणम
सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम
When he reached to the city of Kashi, Kashi is that old city where Lord Shiva spends half the year, lives there, it's his place. But now there's no Shiva emblem, no Trishul on the flag, none of these things. But instead the Shank, Panchajanya, the Shank of Krishna, Nandaka, the sword of Krishna, Kaumodaki, the mace of Krishna, Sharanga, the bow of Krishna, the Sri Vatsa or the footprint on the chest of Krishna. This artificial, man-made form of Krishna is being advertised, and the masses in this great city, the people who, it just by they tell you, if you go in Kashi, you get the blessing. You become liberated. These people that are living in this great place, these same people don't even know the truth. They have become deluded. They have become lost by false advertising, good marketing by fake people, corrupt, innocent, naive, weak minds. Seeing all of this, Christian becomes very upset. But to frighten Paundraka, he starts to laugh. And the laugh is so loud, it reverberates through the corridors of Kashi. And in this way, that false prophet instructs all his soldiers, for the love of your Lord, go and fight the fake Vishnu, which is our Lord Krishna, our real Lord Krishna. Go and fight him. And these people, Sukdev Goswami says, they do the bidding of the false prophet as if they were the moth going to the fire to singe and burn their bodies. They were walking towards the fire. He says Krishna came upon the earth to remove the burden of unrighteousness, and there were many demons and there were many unrighteous kings like Kans, etc. But there were a lot of people with weak knowledge and weak constitution that were adding to the burden of Mother Earth by causing trouble. Those demons that lifted from inside the person's heart in the form of ignorance and arrogance took the shortcomings. And now those moths, those flies, those mosquitoes are heading straight into death's embrace, and they do not realize it. Krishna astu tat Paundraka Kashi Raja Valdabha Gajasya Nanda Dvijayate Nitya Gadasi Chakreshu Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam
Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. When a person becomes so empowered that they believe themselves to be more powerful than right, more powerful, to use a different word, truthfulness, straightforwardness, when they are beyond that, that they have the power to twist truth, and they can twist and bend and make malleable any circumstance to suit their need and their fancy, Christian stands opposed to them. That one day the same people that are flying high meets with destruction. In the same way, these blinded individuals are now going to get punishment by this objective form. This form said in the past that there is no favorite, there is no biasness. It have nothing like he loved this caste and he hate this caste. He loved fair people and he hate dark people. This man is called Sham Sundar, the great dark person. So if you have it in your head, only people who fear is good. For example, that type of racial thought is counterproductive to the Black Lord. This Mohan is waiting for the person that has the light of truthfulness inside of the heart. The person who is activated God in them. And when they see the divinity in others, they know how to respect, speak with decorum, etc. Now imagine all the forces are rushing him, and he instructs his side, do not even pull the sword out of the ship. Leave them for me. And he takes the sword that he has and he starts to cut them down. He takes the sank and he blows. And when he blows, just as he did in the beginning in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of Mahabharata, and he blew the sank in the first part of Bhagavad Gita, the deafening sound damaged their hearing and they fell down lifeless. All the elephants, all the donkeys, the camels, the vahan of these people, they fell. That city of Kashi became as if the place where Rudra is dancing, his Nataraj dance, and everything around that spinning Trishul is being destroyed. Krishna went to Kashi and started to destroy that place. Ata Paundraka ye shauri, Khaba Paundraka ye adhuvan, Duta kena mamahatanya, Trita ye Trishta ye yati, Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharana,
Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Krishna taunting Paundrak. He says, whatever weapons you ask me to throw down with your messenger, now I'm going to release all of it on you. If you are so powerful, oh God, oh Devta, oh Indra, stand up now and face me. I will make an example out of you. You have so much of pride and arrogance. You use your contaminated spirit and your weakness to fuel the basic desires in people. You make false prophet. You make predictions. You use your words, your manipulative words, to promise people everything. For those people that have a weak constitution, they will follow you. But the destruction that you will be met with today, let all your followers meet the same. He says, I desire to fight you, O protector. Come, come. And even now, true Christian is speaking to false Christian. If you come now, I will take you. For this reason, O Parikshit, in Sanatan Dharma, there is nothing called conversion. We don't walk the road and tell people, come pray like me. We don't tell people, in order for you to do puja, you have to convert and you have to christen and you have to this. If somebody tell you that, they lie. Sanatan Dharma is a way of life. There's a prayer to bathe. There's a prayer for the toilet. There's a prayer to conceive children. There's a prayer to make children. There's a prayer to put them in the coffin. There's a prayer for everything. There's a decorum. There's a way. There's a way to respect children, lady, older person. It is a way of life. Therefore, live right and you're a Hindu. Respect the animal. Respect your elders. See the God in the guests. Those are the tenets of Sanatan Dharma. Doing a puja for a murti does not qualify you to become. Hooking on to a guru or a man does not qualify you to be a Hindu. It is your character. You have to practice that truthfulness, that I see God in everybody. I am not racial. I am not prejudicial. I am not sometime-ish. I am consistent. That makes you the Hindu. But in this age of Kali Yuga, you are surrounded by everybody who is telling you about God, 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 God. It still have war. It still having all this greed and all this lust. It still have rape. It still have incest. It still have all of that. It still have hungry people. We were trying to arrange a blood drive. And somebody told me in the bag, what the people said, that there's a group coming here, we'll bring the blood drive bus and we will pull blood. And somebody told me, how could we take our Hindu blood, listen good, Hindu blood, and give it to a non-Hindu? When you go in the hospital and you have to get platelets, dengue running, right? I wanted to ask them, is this Hindu blood? That makes sense to you, and you are alone. But in this life, a person with that decorum will wear the best urni and offer the best prasad and think that that is right. Trust me, leave that to other people that have a little less understanding about God. It have people, he says, when he created different religion, he says it have people who hear, people who don't understand compassion, love, people who don't understand God make everything. That simple statement, God make everything. They don't understand that. God only love people who look like me. God only will take some of us into his heaven. God will only favor some. And then you come across some people are a little higher, a little more understanding. They get charity, they give good, they help good. Only the people who pray like them. Hindu have to be a little more responsible. They have to be a little more mature. And when you are given the opportunity to be born in a Sanatanist home, you have to value what you have and what you were given. The person is born and given this opportunity like your brain. Just as some people cannot compute maths. Some people just inherently cannot figure 2 plus 1 is 3. The person have the dyslexia. So unfortunate they cannot read properly. People are born with different concepts and problems and complex. God make you so because of karma. He still love you, but you're different. Likewise, it have some people understand God. And it have some people who understand God at a different depth. We must be a little understanding of who we are. And don't get enticed by sweet words, loving language. Because you don't understand something, it doesn't mean it's not real. Christian says, come, 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 I will accept you all. If you are putting your mind on me today, if you are making me your enemy, come. All your emissaries, all your messengers, all of you that are pushing this, understand that in this age I take you. And when we end up in the next age with Kalki, I will bring destruction. Just as Indra had rested his head at his foot in Govardhan Katha, Paundraka rushed out at him, squealing and yelling and bawling, coming now with all false weapons and promises. Come on, fellas, let's fight them. We'll destroy them. We'll destroy them. And Krishna let loose the Swadarshana Chakra. Tatpada kashi ye pati khaya vishwarupa krita krita patite yabhinya patriyate kashi pura ye adav jaya bole baba tab sharanam jaya bole baba tab sharanam jaya bole baba tab sharanam jaya samba sada shiva tab sharanam jaya samba sada shiva tab sharanam. Lord Vishnu beheaded him. Imagine the people that were following this king that walked with him to Kashi. When they saw their leader helpless and headless, doubt started to seep inside of them. Blessed is the Sanatanist who has the right decorum, O Parikshit, the person, the individual who has the right decorum, how to approach Guru, teacher, but they also have the right attitude that there's nothing wrong in asking questions like Narad Muni, for example. When a person wants clarity, when a person wants to understand their God, their procedure better, that is not a bad thing. What makes it bad is how you say it, how you do it, how you word, maybe how you approach. Many times as a pundit, people have questions, and you all know this. I provide answers for everybody online. If a pundit come and ask me, pundit, I don't know how to do Nandi Mukh, for example, is a different procedure. If the person's still alive and they want to do Shrad for their own soul, that is the prayer, whether it is drink the cow urine, how to do it. You give the information. But there are some people, they come to ask you a question, but you're telling me a story. You're telling me how great and how good and how much you know, but Baba, you didn't answer my question. You ever had that experience? When devoted people sit to talk, consider this, and I'm saying this, if you make the mistake, check yourself, because everything we do in here, we check in with self. This is not about other people. This is about you being in a world where there are many forms of distractions hitting and bombarding you. But the reason Christian makes these tests, how would you know you're a bhakt? People like to say, I'm a devotee, I'm a bhakt, but you're never tested. How do you know that your bhakti or your devotion is genuine or real? Your devotion right now could be very high because we are in a place of prayer, we're smelling the hawan, we're in the clothes, we're eating the food, the prasad good. The real day you're going to test it is when you find out something bad happened. When you get disappointed, when things don't go as you plan. Let me go one really rough example. There are people dying every day. The only people who seem not to know the truth about how bad the dengue is maybe the Minister of Health and all his workers. They live inside a bubble and they don't know how many people are getting dengue. However, the rest of we know. When you see a parent have to put their child in a box because of an insect the size of a nail bit the child. They're trying papaw leaf now and it looks as if the leaf failing. That person who is in that position, just put yourself there for 1 second. You're in that moment and you see in this head you play with, you smell the head here when it was small. You have all the attachment and you realize, you know, I took out the insurance so that one day when I die, you will get a little change in your hand. That was the plan. Why are you lying down in this box for? You're breaking my plan. I built the house, I fixed it in a way that you would get something and you wouldn't have to take out mortgage like me. Why are you lying down in this box today? See that person go from that heart-wrenching, heart-breaking moment that me and you probably wouldn't know what we would do if we were in that moment. And understand that what is the proper thing for the devotee to do? Tears, mucus, you name it, coming from the body. But I'm only talking to Krishna. Some people will start to throw down themselves and maybe that's how they feel. Maybe that's where they reach. Remember, don't judge nobody. You don't know how you will behave if you were in that position. That's a test. A rough test nonetheless. If I want to learn to drive you as a driver, did you pass your driving test? I want to call myself a Bhakt of Krishna, he will put you in test. And how do you survive? Even in testing moments, you hold on to him. That is the time you will see who is devotee and who is play devotee. That is the time you will see the true devotee. For example, just an example, Krishna, I don't know what you're doing with me right now, but give me the strength to get through this. Tears running, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Don't come and tell me condolence. Give me a little space. I don't want you to interfere with me. You don't know how I'm feeling. People with their good words sometimes come at inappropriate times. I remember one time I was doing a funeral and the lady did see her child get shot as an officer, police officer. And he really didn't need to die in this example. And every family want to come and hug up and kiss and condolence and condolence. And the lady just want to pray. What would you do? Bad things happen to good people every day. Don't fool yourself. How do you handle your moments of test? When children do it, when the spouse do it, when family do it, and you are wondering what to do. What is this? How to do this? How to deal with this? Christian says that the blessed person is the person that continues to shine no matter the test, no matter the battle that is in front, no matter the evil that is in front. Like Arjun, maybe we should let Krishna drive the chariot to get through this war. Vindravan Bihari Lal ki jai. That Sudarshan Chakra cut down everybody. All opposing forces were destroyed. Kashi Raj is on the ground. The city is burning. The city of Shiva is burning. That even if you have done blessed things, even if you have blessed ornaments on your body, they are just ornaments, pretty things, if you are not of the right character or the right caliber. It becomes that the ornament has the blessedness, but in the protection of the person, truthfulness, the purity that is supposed to dwell within the person becomes the primary protection. Sometimes we say, if I have reduction, me like, oh Lord, if I have reduction, I go be good. If I have my yantra, I'll be good. If I have my guru mantra, good. If you're honest, if you're straightforward, don't feel you're as good. Those things have a play too. When Sudakshna, who is the son of our false prophet, Paundraka, when the son hears, the prince hears that his father is now slain, he picked up the body and he does the shroud, repays the debt for his father by lifting the body, takes it to the fire and does all that he is required to do. And rather than engaging in the fight, he goes and he prays to Lord Shiva. Shiv Baba blesses those people that live in the city of Kashi very quick. If the person, like in that Bedi, when we went, we brought back the dirt from Kashi, from Gaya, from all these different spots, and that mud is inside there. When the person is doing the prayer, I am telling you, you're doing it on that type of dirt. Praying to Lord Shiva, Mahadev Baba appeared before him and he asked, could you please give me all the power to destroy the enemy? He says, I will give you what you want. What do you want? He says, I want an unseen energy. I don't want to have to pull the arrow. I want something that will cause burning. I want something that will cause destruction. And tell me how to conjure and call this force that I might be able to use it to damage people. Lord Shiva gives him a prayer to worship Dakshina Agni, a form of Agni. This ritwij or this cleansing fire will be yours. Whenever people have to do black magic, Mohana type of prayer, they use this type of prayer. Agni has 3 sons, and this one is for the Rajasic type of offerings, not Sattvic like what we do over there. This is the one that people use to cook fresh, to cook, normal fire. And then you have the unclean, Kravyad Agni, that you offer hair, bone, flesh for prayer purpose, funeral type things, for example. He says, use this ritwij and offer in this fire things that could be used for hostility, but do not use it against a person who lives good with Brahmanas or people that use the Gayatri mantra. So long as you refrain from touching with this fire people that have respect for Brahman, people that have respect for cow, people that have respect for the God, people that have respect for the Gayatri, and you do not interfere with them, you will be able to overcome all enemies by using this fire. Problem was, he went and he targeted Krishna with this. And Krishna was never hostile to a Brahman. He respected to the extreme all of them. And when Sudakshana conjured and called this form of Dakshina Agni, it turned around. All the prayer, all the different things, it turned around and it started to burn Sudakshana. This form of Agni is visualized with the hair is made of fire, the mustache, the beard is fire. And this coppery form started to emit flames that from his mouth and his eyes as well as his features started to burn the person. Parikshit says, what does this mean? Did this stay with this person? This abhichar or type of unclean type of prayer. When somebody says, because of my protection, because of the prayer and the God, the divinity that protects me, when somebody wishes harm, secret enemy, harm against me, dear God, send it back. I'm sure everybody's heard that. This is the medium by which it is done. This form of Agni judges the character of the target. If the person is protected by prayer, leave them. That prayer would never infract. The person wishing you harm, it would never take any root. It would never help. It would never do damage. The person is using Gayatri. The person puts their head to their guru. They bow to their parents' feet. They live in oneness and a sattvic relationship with Brahman. But if the person has the mouth to bad talk their guru, ill speak their guru, something causes the dam, something causes the trouble. In today's discourse, we are identifying it as the son of Agni called Dakshina Agni. This form is coming from the Katha where Lord Vishnu is in that boar head form, that Varaha form. He had 3 sons. He was married to Mother Earth. It is found in the Kalika Upapuran. Gora and the other 2 brothers are the 3 little piglets of Lord Vishnu. And when Lord Shiva is telling him, you have to give up this birth, you have to give up this form, Mother Earth cannot take your weight. This is the part where he says there is no Ramayana, there is no Gita, there is no text associated with this form. People will forget the sacrifice of this form and they will neglect me. All the sacrifice, all the battle, look at how much fight I fight to win this earth for good people. What will happen? Lord Shiva makes the promise that because of where your foot press in this battlefield, a grass is going to grow. From the base of the grass, it will represent Brahma, the middle part, Shiva, and the tip, Vishnu. This grass brought back the Kushi or the happiness to Mother Earth. For this reason, this grass is going to be called Kusha grass or Kush grass, happiness granting, happiness bringing. It will be a testimony to your sacrifice. Wherever it is or placed, your blessing, your protection will always be there. He says, I wish further now, Shiv Baba, to have my 3 sons used or immortalized in the Katha of this universe. And Lord Shiva is the one who says, they will be recreated. They will come again from this piglet form, and each one of them had name, is just I can't remember, as the 3 forms of fire. So this 3 form is where you are putting different things in the fire. And if you look at when people are making, let's say, the salt-free stuff, the sattvic true stuff, and that is why we just make a big fuss that we don't want to use cream of wheat because in certain dish, because cream of wheat has sodium chloride or salt in it, I don't want that in this recipe. I don't want to speak over the pot. I don't want bodily fluid in any form. I'm controlling my perspiration as hot as the fire is. I don't want to contaminate what is being cooked here because of the form of the fire. Then it has some normal salt food, normal food for some people, whatever normal is, food, sustenance, that kind of fire. And the 3rd type is where you are putting now, forget we didn't want spit to go in the fire, we put in the whole tongue, cremation type of fire. But in that cremation, people who do blood sacrifice, blood worship, you will see it in Devi Bhagwat, in the Navrat discourse. For some people, they make pinda out of fish, they make different animal sacrifice. That type of fire where the whole body is offered, they ask that fire to take and accept these types of offering. For this reason, because of this forming of these type of fire, have you ever gone to the patching of the lava or the cooking of the food, and the ladies have a habit of taking out a little cedar, the taria with the aloo, a little bit of rice, whatever you have? What you are doing there, these three brothers that became the fire, like a person, just as it is being formed here, you are telling him, please, we are cooking food, we're cooking parasad, please accept this gift and do us the favor of preparing the meal. Now the salt food, the pumpkin, the chana, whatever it is, I am not doing it for anybody to get. I'm cooking, so give me a heat. Process the food. But when they do the bhog lagawe, where they take the little food, everything that is made, because it is sattvic, salt doesn't make it tamasic. Just to be clear, there's a fire that has sitaram. There's a fire for this type of salt food. So if the person says, I don't offer salt food in fire, partner, you're going wrong. The logic of blessing the food is not by putting tulsi in the food. Tulsi is a purifier. If somebody says, I have parsad off on the altar, you have parsad for your house. You put tulsi, except the Ganesh, you put tulsi to make it fit and appropriate to offer. But it is only when the prasad is burnt in the fire and Indra get his share and the sun get his share, Lord Krishna get his share, and prasad by definition is something that he touched, then it is worth sharing. Food is the same thing. It is fit for the devta. You do not sweat, you do not talk, you don't contaminate the pot, but it has salt. And you're still saying, dear God, you touch it first. Christian, look, I'm sending some through this form of Agni. You eat some of it. So a good, easy method to bless your food. You see people offering it sometime in your stove, your little stove. You will see the people offering a drop maybe on the frame, the metal frame we have. And you're saying, dear God, you touch, if it's just a drip from the pumpkin, and transport it, Lord Krishna, you accept it, you taste. Whatever you do, do it for me, is what Gita says. Offer it to me. So I'm cooking food. I wanted to feed. Draupadi did it. She fed Krishna. Everybody gets satisfied. Durvasa Rishi had to leave and run with all his disciples. There's a precedent of offering the food that you're about to eat to Krishna. The person wants to use a mantra. Me, I know how to do that. Easy. Use your Gayatri. If you know no other mantra, use your Gayatri, Guru mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and you call him and you're just using the fire because of their position. Take this, imagine, delivery, DoorDash, whatever you call it, take this food and carry it by Christian, let him taste it, and then I'll get a shade for everybody. That is how we bless food. The food, we are not of a different religion. In other religion, the priests bless the food. In our religion, be very clear. Be very clear. God bless our food. You put it in the hands of the delivery man, the fire, and you say, dear God, carry it for Christian. When he touch it, now it bless. Now it's ready. Everything I cook for prayer is readily and possible and able to give him the food. If I can't give him it, I shouldn't be cooking it. So this is why, what's the rule to prepare food? Do it just before the prayer, just before the offering. Don't do it last week, because today we have different forms of, preservation. Don't make it last week and thaw it out in the microwave and now it's stale. It is not fresh. Bacteria count. It is within limit. And I could offer this quality of food to God. Yes, there's a saying, and I'm saying this because of a question. Yes, it says that everything you offer, God will accept it. But just as somebody would think twice in the Sanatanist method of offering the chicken this and the duck that and whatever to their God on their altar, not everybody will do it. There are people who do. But me and you might think twice, how am I going to do that? What would God say? It is an offering, yes. Offer him a leaf, a drop of water, anything with devotion, I'll accept it. So some people do offer it. It is there. But a higher quality of offering is sattvic offering. It does say that. And if I'm offering sattvic, sattvic also constitute things that are not spoiling, things that are not rotting, things that don't encourage a certain tendency or trait. And he describes it in Gita. The whole thing with the burning, the spoiling food, etc. For this reason, if a person sitting here today is doing it wrong, if you're not offering your food to Christian, if you are offering only, we cook the roti baba, because me no help. I cooked the roti last week Friday, and we go heat it up in the oven, and we go share it back today. Nobody ever know. Christian gonna know. The purpose of sharing that food is to get blessing. But who are you fooling other than yourself and everybody in the crowd? But the God know the truth. And I'm just using this one example because we have a lot of confusion as Hindus about food, what to do, what is not to be done, etc. When you don't know what to do and somebody says, well, I see the man up the road doing it this way, you're affected by the community you live in. I saw those people do it, so I will do it. But when you reap the reward of doing poorly prayer or poorly handled prayer, the reward is yours. The punishment is yours. So when you see people do things, it doesn't mean that you just do it. Think back about the times for every elder here. When we had Shrad or we have somebody die, take down all the curtain and turn around all the pitié. Only to learn that in Islam, they believe, part of their belief is that they don't want to see eyes. The angels, when they come into the home, they turn around. So check your own knowledge. We live in a multi-religious society. You'll see a picture of Jesus, you'll see a picture of Christian, but you'll see in Islam the name of God. That is part of who they are. But the Hindu, the foolish Hindu, saw the man up the road turn the mirror so that there's no reflection of eye or hide the picture or whatever it is. Let's do it. The Hindu is the one who is to take flour and ashes and portray the room where the dead man was. And if you go and see a 1 foot horse print in that room, the Hindu is the one who says, Ma, look, daddy just dead. He done gone the whole year, reach Yamraj, get judged, born, gone through the whole gestation period, the whole time in the womb, born back as a 1 foot horse and stand up in the room. Wow, ma, daddy bless. See how stupid Hindu people is? This is what we become. Anything other people do, we do it. If you want to see this discourse, watch outside and you see it every day. Hindu people are the people who go and they have birthday. Oh, birthday cake, Baba, we have to sing Bada Bad, we have birthday cake. Good. But if, look, Pandit, see nobody, Hawan, Pandit out there, Hawan. Pandit out the incense stick. Pandit out the deer. That Pandit mad, boy. What's the problem, children? If I blow on it, yes, the pack tells you to blow. The pity on the pack, children, just get confused. I saw Durga on this side of the pack, but the instructions say blow it out. Read it, you'll see what I'm saying. So for a younger head, it is cause trouble. The problem with that blowing, your spittle is going to be hitting that light. I feel ashamed, I feel bad, I'm contaminating this light, it's wrong. This light is my Diya, that Jyoti is my God, I can't do that. But then, in the same prayer, let me blow out the candle. The same light, light is light. And as a Sanatanist, you're supposed to respect light in all forms. Out it with your hand if you need to. Fan it with a fan, a book, do what you have to do. But that is not your Dharma. That is Irish Dharma. That when you out the light with your good wishes and the smoke ascends to the heaven, your wishes are going to be granted. We don't believe in smoke going up to heaven. We believe in smoke coming into me. You pass the smoke over your head. How many times Pandit gone to do funeral, the person die, where's the quickest we could do the funeral? You want to do it tomorrow? No, Pandit, we had to have 2 or 3 days wake where people go say. And then they realized that was an English practice by the landowner from the Cain days. That in their culture, they believe in throwing one for the spirit. The dead man, knock drum, play card, eat whatever. The Hindus see it do that, and because we love everything the white man does, they started to do it too. But then the next day, start a fast. Vegetarian. Puja. The Hindu is the person who does these things to themselves. Nobody here doing nothing yet. This is not OBR. This is not black magic. This is the person not knowing their dharma. When Sudakshana did attack Krishna, this form of Dakshan Agni became freed. And seeing this abhichad, or this form of fire that punished people, rushed out, saw Krishna, bowed at Krishna's feet, turned around and came back to Sudakshana and burnt him. That the person who is not an enemy of a Brahman, does not ill speak parents, does not ill speak the Guru, does not out of Abhiman choose or damage the Gayatri, ill speak these things, they are protected by the fire and the strength of Dharma and God. But when you go against Dharma, when you start, let me be very clear in one example of this. There are some people don't understand Sanatana Dharma. And God bless them, they understand maybe a simpler process. And they convert, no problem so far. Do what works for you. My opinion, as a pundit, I am saying this. If that works for you, do it. You want to do it, do it. Why then do you have to condemn where you come from? That part don't make sense to me. If your way, if your method is so great and stellar, better than everybody else, why do you have to go through a religious comparative that them God bad, and because they're God bad, my God great? It says a lot about the person. What does it do? That fire will follow the person who does this type of act, where they speak against Brahman, Gayatri, the God, the Prasiddha, the dharmic acts, ill speaks these forms of good. Burning calamity, verse 37 of chapter 67, for those of you that want to read it. Calamity, burning, panic, a form of fear comes into their life. There is forms of punishment that you could see with your physical eye, and whether it is insanity, family trouble, death of the male members of the family, that fire is the force that robs a person. You go and do prayers in a wrong way, you damage yourself, but that doesn't see a physical knife coming to choke me. No, in your life you just realize my marriage in trouble, my children don't listen to me again, there is no peace, something wrong. What went wrong? I don't know. And the last thing we check is what this mouth they say. What we say in passing comments, joke. But joke is choke. And when you get in pain, you will wonder, what is this, boy? And you will never check, is I who said it, I who did it. But according to our Dharma, you will be reminded when you meet Yamraj. In this way, this energy attacked not only Sudakshana, but Sitaram, but his family, his city people. This king was eradicated and all his line was burnt out. That people who have the act and the thinking that they are the divine, they are greater than God, they are God, and they have this lack of humility, know that the fire of Agni, there's no devil, this abhichad or this punishing fire will come to a person and without having physical features, burn the person, burn their mansion, burn their house, burn their business, burn their family. All those that have the same surname will die off. The young will die and the elders will live. And the family becomes cursed because of this lifestyle. Everybody put your hands together. Ye evam shravanti te mritya uttam shloka kavi karmatam samheto va shrunuvat sarva papi prachayati etam Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Close your eyes and just say a prayer. One of the reasons why we embarked on this, Sitaram, we embarked on this Bhagavad for these 7 years. This is year 2. The corrective method for when people make these type of mistake and their family line, their lineage is dying off. All the men in the family are dying off. The family is burning. We cannot see eye to eye. There's conflict. There are people who are fighting spiritual battles with family members. There are people who are going to court, and the court is not easing. Every time you come out of court, back to court, come out of court, back to court. And they want something to fix it. Bhagavad is a tool that is used to bring peace in a home or a family that is on fire. For the person that is going through persecution because of what maybe the elders did, how they prayed, what they offered, the kind of mohana, the kind of black magic, because those things are done, and then you, the innocent generation, have to account or pay for it. We came from people who had 25 children, normal, no C-section, and now we live in a time where people struggle to have one. Something is wrong. When the person listens to this discourse, let the family curse, the generational curse, let all the different things that are plaguing that family be dissolved. Let them become absolved of these sins by the blessing of that acceptor of all, that Mukunda, that person who receives the worst demon and purifies the individual, leaving behind all the history and all the mistakes, all the deformities, and takes such a Jew and puts it into him, merging one to one into Mahavishnu, never to come again. Blessed is the person that rests their head on the Bhagavad, that worships the content of this discourse, that they would not be contaminated by society or the whim and fancy of the day. Blessed is the person that listens to this discourse and the teachings of Krishna, that they become independent thinking, they think for themselves, guided by the chit or the voice inside of them, what is to be done, what is not to be done, how to conduct themselves, how to carry themselves, and if, dear God, this person is going down the wrong road, save that person from the internal demon, their self, that is causing them to go down a path that is only going, by virtue of this discourse, that is only going to lead to death, destruction, and burning. Let the person realize how dangerous they are to themselves. When in Gita, Krishna, you said a person could be their own friend or their own enemy, I understand that statement a little bit more today. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. As we end chapter 66, this brings us to the end of this session. Everybody, let's all stand as we've run out of time this morning to do arti. As we get set, put your hands together. Take a second and you talk to God. We were doing this. Understand my motive. The Bhagavad is a lot of work, a lot. It takes a lot of planning. And we still make mistakes. And forgive me if we make any mistake. If these children say anything, if they just can't sit down easy and they're distracting, forgive. But the intention is to teach them how to do it. If you teach somebody how to get up early, if you teach somebody how to do prayer, if you teach them how to sit, how to seke roti, one day they could do it on their own. But if they never have the experience, they will never know what it is. These children, after this is done, the adults, everybody, they will know, they will have the discipline and the experience to do Bhagavad. What? They will have the discipline to handle a Bhagavad. Imagine after this somebody says 7 days Ramayana, it's hard. These little children will say, you're mad. You know it is to get up 4 o'clock every morning and make parsad 3 times for the day. Food, different recipes. Maybe it would have been easy if you was ordering roti 3 times for the day. 7 days, no roti had to cook. But no. In this, we made sure these children could offer to the fire. Understand, before you taste it, make sure and burn it. Then taste. It have a way to work around that. We want to make sure it tastes perfect. Offer it to God first, and then adjust your pepper and salt. It done blessed. It done offered. It is already touched by Krsna. Dear God, thank you for the I just use that as an example. But I have a little family problem. For those of you who practice Shravanam this morning, in the month of Shravan, this is why I do it this time. All I have to do is listen. God bless you if you could offer flowers. Good. Shravanam means listen. In listening to the Bhagavad and listening to the prayer, the song, the everything, I get the blessing as if I did the prayer. Dear God, I need your help now in my family, with these children, with these grandchildren, in the marriage. Whilst I sing in this arti, talk to God. Trust me, this Katha is not always read. It's a little troublesome. It's a little ticklish. Like last night when you're talking about Brahman and Brahman and Brahman, it has caused little trouble for some people. But if you don't have the teaching, you'll never win the war inside. Karpura Gaudam Karunavataram Sansara Sadam Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridaya Vinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Jai Jai Bhagavata Bhagavan Ki Hai Aarati. Papiyon ko
बसे है तारती, जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मुक्ति पंथ, ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला।
ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मोक्ति पंथ, ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला।
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही,
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही,
जग की मंगल के आरती।
पापियों
Everybody.
को पाप से है तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की।
है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत, पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला।
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत, शापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला।
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी,
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी।
ये मधुसूदन के आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
ये मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल, सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
मधुर बोल जग पंथ खोल, सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़े को बनाने वाला।
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
प्रभु की महिमा के आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
Krishna Govinda Hare Murari.
Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari.
Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari.
Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari.
Jai Nath Narayana Vasudeva.
Jai Nath Narayana Vasudeva.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
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 Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Together, everybody. Tvameva Mata.
Chapita Tvameva.
Tvameva Bandhuscha.
Saka Tvameva.
Tvameva Vidya.
Pravinam Tvameva.
Tvameva
Mama Deva Deva.
Tvameva Sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva.
Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Shanti. Hari Om. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadev ki jai. Pawan Putra Hanuman ki jai. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki jai. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Jai Jai Sitaram. Sitaram everybody. Please have your seat.